Welcome to the first of the Brave Talks at the International Film Festival Rotterdam this year. We're delighted to have the director of As I Open My Eyes, Leyla Bouzid, here. We also have the two actresses, Bayan Medhafer and Galia Ben Ali, and they will be joining us in a few minutes. We're going to start off speaking with Leyla because she is, after all, the director and co-writer of the film, and I presume it was your idea to make the film in the first place. How did that idea come about?
It came from several things. The main one was when the revolution, Tunisian revolution arrived. I thought a lot of people were filming what is going on, and I thought finally we can talk about the Ben Ali's time and with a straight way and talk about the police power and the paranoia and the fear that we were living, and with in front of this to the energy of the youth the last years of Ben Ali. Also, I made the other thing is I made a short film before, which was a mother-daughter relationship. It was more about the mother, and we were told in the film that the daughter was very free, but we couldn't see because she was beaten in the film, and we couldn't see her freedom. And so I wanted after to do something with very free spirit girl. So this both ideas were.
And presumably it's the sort of film that could not have been made at the time of when it was set.
No, the film is allowed by the fact that there was this revolution. It's impossible to tell the story the way it's made before.
Yeah. Did you feel that there might be some resistance against the film in some quarters? Because it's a very brave film, I think, and it doesn't pull its punches. It's in many respects.
We didn't know when doing it how it will be. Honestly, the film was financed by the Ministry of Culture in Tunisia. And when we made the shooting, there was absolutely no problem. And the whole team, we were all believing very strong in the story of the film. We had some wonder about how it will be, if there will be a problem for anyone with the film. But the film started his life in Venice Film Festival, and it got a lot of awards and a very fast, an international beautiful success. So I think it protected the film from any possibility of attacking us. But in Tunisia there is some artists that have problems with even now. It's not direct, it's more like you are a very free spirit, you tell something that is not suitable with us, and we put you in jail for smoking a joint, because smoking a joint in Tunisia, as in the film, it's 1 year of prison. And you don't even have to be smoking. They make a test and they found out that you smoked the 27 days before, and you take 1 year of jail. And so there is 7,000 persons now in prison for this.
The law is still in place.
Yes, it's a law from Ben Ali's time, but they are still using it, and the last month they used it very much, and there was a director and a photographer and a very talented painter. Also, the director is very talented, and they were in prison for more than 1 month, but with the international and the press and the Facebook network, they went out after 1 month, but still.
There's still lots of people there. You wanted to make the film happen not too long before the revolution. Why was that?
The last years before the revolution, we could feel in Tunisia some very strange atmosphere. It was same time we felt we were in impasse, that it was no leading anywhere, and same time people started to talk, and there was a really strange atmosphere, and I wanted to film it. And when the revolution arrived, everyone was saying that it's a surprise, and same time it was everywhere, and it was all to the future, and no one was making bilan of the last years. And I thought it's really important to come back with the last month to feel why it happened, and to not have the real action of the revolution, but to have a film that when it's finished, we think, okay, Farah and Hayat, they probably will participate to the revolution, and that we understand from the inside of the characters what led to this. Of course, they're not the only one. There is also some different people that made this revolution, but I wanted that we understand more, and that it stays also, because we were so much about filming the revolution itself that we made no work about why and how and what is going on. So for me, it's important for the memory. Tunisian people have very short memory.
I think most people have very short memories, especially where pain is concerned.
Yeah, but in Tunisia we have the Ben Ali. He made a very bad work on history. They made really that there is no, like in high school we don't teach good history, and so we have really no knowledge, like no value to the history. And so it's important to think for that the story doesn't recommence pas.
Doesn't start again.
Yeah, doesn't start again. You need to make some work on the memory.
Yeah. Well, you're a woman yourself, so I presume it came naturally to you to concentrate on a young woman.
No, I was thinking if Farah is a boy, how it would be, and why not a boy. But it's true that the film is on 3 acts, and the first act is about family, the second one is about society, and the third one is about the system itself of the country. And being a girl, it's more hard for the family and the society issue, and it makes, when you broke this opposition, it makes a stronger person. And so the girls that makes it, like Farah, are, I think, stronger than a boy that would make the same. So. And
do the men feel threatened by such women? Sometimes you
have to ask them.
There's a lot of music in the film, and I believe the composer, Kiam Alami, is here. And the music is terrific in its own right anyway, but why is there such a focus on music? Is it a particularly strong form of protest or of expression, self-expression? You've given it a lot of weight in the film.
Yeah, in the very, very first idea of the screenplay, the idea was that it deals with the freedom of speech, liberté d'expression. And in the very, very first idea, I thought that Farah could be a blogger, that she writes on internet, but it's not really cinematographical. And very fast with my co-writer, we thought about singing. And it was really relevant straight, like first because I always dreamed about a rock Tunisian band with Tunisian lyrics, and Khayyam made it with oud, and so I wrote the music I dream of, and it was the best way, this rock music, to deal with the energy of the youth, and the song, it can same time it's very powerful, the song, because it stays in mind, and the dictator are afraid from this because it can go everywhere very fast, and it's very hard to control a song. So it was very relevant, and when writing it, as I said, it was a kind of dreaming, and when starting to prepare, it was a wonder, and I was thinking, okay, we never can make this music, how are we gonna do? And I met a lot of people, and I couldn't find someone that there was a connection. And when I met Hayem, it was by chance. He had a concert in Paris of Elif. It's a band which is very good rock band, more melancholic than the music of the film. And then we met. He's from Iraq, but maybe, and he was some years in Tunisia after the revolution, and he felt this energy and this process, or also the energy that is destroyed, and so we connect really very, very, very fast. And as he made the music that I liked so much, the place was bigger and bigger in the film. And before shooting, we were thinking, okay, even if we fail the film, at least we succeed in doing good music.
And there is an album, I believe.
Yes, there is an album. It's in iTunes and everywhere. It's with the title of the film, As I Open My Eyes. And so there is the songs that are live, and there is also studio version of the same songs. There is also the music, the wood of the music that he plays, and the music of the credits, beginning credits. There is a song, and it's a guy called Maurice Luca, and I think he's making a concert in Rotterdam 2nd of February, the guy that makes the credits in the beginning. He's an Egyptian DJ. DJ? No, not DJ. How do you say? Musician.
Now, did the fact that there was so much music affect your ideas about casting? Because obviously...
I wanted that everything is set live, and so for searching Farah, I was concentrating on the fact that she's able to sing and also able to act, and so I made a very big, long casting, and it was based first on the ability to sing. And all the musicians, they are musicians and they are not actors, and they don't even really search to be actors, I think. And the surprise is that the mother is a real singer, and but she doesn't sing in the film
until the end.
Yeah, somehow, but she is the real singer. And Baya sings in the film, but she is not. She was not a singer, but she had to be able to sing, so we casted her on this. And Hayem wrote for Baya's voice, and for the people. He was with me also for the cast and choosing the persons.
So I think now is a good time to actually welcome the two actresses. Leyla Bouzid. Okay, well, let's start with you, Baya. This was your first film.
Yes.
Had you always wanted to act?
I always loved cinema. I discovered cinema when I was like 10. Real cinema, I mean, when I was aware of...
Decent
and
movies.
I watched a Turkish movie, Head On, of Fatih Akin, and I was like amazed by this movie, even if I didn't understood everything. But my mom took me at a Tunisian Film Festival, and my father works there, so I always went there. And my mother explained to me the whole movie, so we were making noise while she was explaining. And then I said, wow, it's a very nice way to say things, and it's very subtle.
Yes, subtle, yeah.
And I wanted to do that, so I started watching movies, and then I had a kind of project with the filmmaker, but it didn't went too far, and I met Leyla. So I played in this movie. It was a very good experience. It was I discovered this thing I have. I guess I didn't know about it.
She fighted to do it.
Yeah, and I thought it was important to represent this kind of youth in Tunisian cinema, because we don't see it a lot. So that's why I wanted to do this film, and now I'm studying cinema in Paris. I'm studying filmmaking, but I also want to act.
Well, congratulations. Some of the film is very intense. I think particularly the interrogation scene is very painful to watch.
Yeah.
Was that painful to film? Or I suppose you
it's-
knew it was only a movie.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Of course, it was. It was very hard. It was intense. It was. I had to focus. I had to. It was hard, but I think the music scenes were even harder for me because I'm not a singer, and as it was shooted live, so I had to do to give the same energy in every take, and it was I don't know, the challenge for me. It's the music scenes, the torture scene. It's one of the first scenes I played in the casting. Yeah. How can you ask your actress?
The second, first the mother-daughter.
Yeah, but the first time I saw
the-
you in the casting.
Yes, but we made the mother-daughter, and then we made the boyfriend scene, and when it worked out good, we thought with the assistant, okay, we try a little bit the
So he
scene.
tortured me a little bit.
And it's the assistant that acts the policeman. He's not actor, neither.
He tortured me so well that she took.
No, it was written everything. She knew it was not. It was not real torture, but
of course.
but as it's very violent scene. But we were all believing that it's a very important scene. A lot of friends of us lived the same, and this it's a psychological torture. And Baya was acting like with all what she is, like she did for everything. So of course it's hard because she was putting herself in the state of Farah, and yeah.
And Galia, this was not your first film. You've made a film before? Or you'd acted before?
Yeah, in '99 was kind of something close to me. I didn't really like the experience of acting actually in '99, and then I refused to continue in this, and I bet I was better with singing, and because you weren't born yet. Yes.
No, it's true. You're gonna discover
She was
why.
a great partner, by the way, in the movie. That's why I loved the experience, because I was really angry at her. She was so inspiring.
Because her real daughter has my
Yeah,
name.
that's why I also accepted to play in this movie, because I didn't like really acting, and also I was, I mean,
Yes.
I was a bit. She was asking me to play mother while it's a musical movie, and I could sing, and she said, "No, shut up and play the mother." So I really didn't like. I said, "No, I'm not going to do it." Says, "Yes, please read the scenario. Your daughter is this magnificent, gorgeous girl who's called Baya." My daughter, my real daughter's name is Baya, and it's kind of rare name. Then I read the script, and I saw that her boyfriend is Borhan, which is the real name of my real son, which is also rare. And
Did
I
you
said,
plan all this?
no.
No, but I say now that if you want
This
her
is
to
okay.
play in your film, if you're a producer or filmmaker,
Choose the names
you
carefully.
should
Signs come once only, and I could read the signs, and that's why. Also, I needed a new challenge in my life, so that's the way it came.
And has it made you want to continue acting
Yes.
again?
Yes, now.
Yeah, she should. No.
No,
I think so. Very wonderful
I have
performances
full time
in film.
with my work and singing, but if it could be something, I don't know, something exciting.
Like, as I
new,
open my eyes, do.
then the mother starts to sing,
Yeah.
and it's a new revolution and stuff. We need a new revolution,
You
right?
should have a
Yes,
sequel.
it is.
I become conservative. Huh?
And yeah,
She's
and
veiled.
you put the veil.
Whoa.
Yeah, in the mosque. Yeah.
I have one more question briefly before we throw it over to the audience. So if you've got questions, do start thinking about coming down to the mic. But did you rehearse a lot? Did you improvise much?
Before I read with everyone, every character. We read his text. We talked about it a lot. Afterward, I made repetitions. Not everything, of course, but a lot around the scene and the set. We didn't make improvisation, but before we improvised a little bit around the text, and I rewrited a little bit with their own words after the readings and the rehearsal, and so I before the set everyone could have a new text which is closer to his way of speaking. And afterward, in fact, the scenes are really the text, but the way of shooting it was more like filming from the beginning till the end, as they are not actors and they are very close to the character, and that there was something very close to their way of speaking and being. It was as if they lived the scene and not really as if they acted it, because the way we made the set with the DOP was that they can do it from the beginning till the end, and even if we had a very clear idea before how to film, we were adapting to also the way they were taking the space, and so there was a kind of alchemy between the camera and them, and I think they had the space to. It was not improvised, but to live really the scene. I think
it does feel very spontaneous. A lot of it,
but in the same time, it's very close to the screenplay. And I last times in the beginning, when I met the people, I always say we improvised. But lately, I saw some images from preparation, and it's really the scene word by word the same. And this is really crazy because I think we gave the impression that to everyone, even to the people that act, that they are not acting, that they are really living. Mm-hmm. But if you read the last version of the screenplay, it's word by word the film. So it's
Okay, I think we now we have our first person.
Please also feel free to ask Chaim, the composer of the music.
I actually have two questions. The song texts, they are so powerful, it's poetry. Have they been written before the revolution or afterwards? And are they not a threat for regimes, for instance, in Egypt, El-Sisi?
The texts are written all for the film. It's like the music. So the first step when I wrote a text which is in French, and because the songs and the screenplay, they have a real dramaturgic function. There is reactions when they sing. So I wrote the text with the theme and a little bit the color, like sad, joy, whatever, and I worked with a young Tunisian writer called Rassen Armemi. He's also a little bit from the cinema scene, and he read the screenplay, and I asked him to write with putting himself as if he is the character. So for some songs he wrote them really from straight, and for some others we made work. The poem is that there is 4 songs and there is 1 poem that she says. The poem is written by a young Tunisian poet which makes slam. He's really gifted, and they wrote for the film, for the topic of the film, and but they wrote it and they are poets. So the songs are, everything is done for the film. It's not. In Egypt, I don't know. Ghalia sings a lot of in Egypt, and Chaim is living part Egypt, part Beirut.
So you said that the song text and the songs are on YouTube. So I can imagine that they are known in Egypt as well.
No, not really, because also the accent, the Tunisian accent is not really, but with translations maybe. But yes, it looks so far Tunisian.
They understand it well. Still, I think they understand it well. But let's see. At least the film is not released yet in Egypt, so we will see. But it will be released in March, and it will be also released in Lebanon. The songs started in Tunisia, and they have a huge success. And let's see the life they will have.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have a question to come and ask? No?
Bye-bye.
We are here. You're afraid
Surely
from the
somebody
mic,
has one
but
question.
It's okay.
You do, but we can wait for you. We're brave here, so be brave. It's good exercise.
Thank you so much for the movie. It was really beautiful. There was this one scene where where the mother went into this all-male restaurant and everybody stared at her. And I'm really curious about why the scene and what the intention was behind it, and maybe about like the cultural context or yeah.
In the film, there is different bars. In Tunisia, there is different kind of bars. The first bar where she sings in the beginning of the film, it's a bar of the center of the city, but there is not so much girls, but you can have 3-5 girls. It's somehow kind of okay. There is bars in
communist bars.
yes, it's communist bars, very political and full of cups.
No, backups.
صحفي in the
Secret,
time. That's why it's in front of the Ministry of Interior. It's full of cups. So I hope you didn't make so حسيب. There is the bars of the more wealthy quarters where there is music, the ones where they make the first concert, and there it's really half girls, half boys, and it's another way of living. And there is this bar where the mother goes in the end, and this is the bar from the center of Tunis. There is a lot of them, and also in other cities in Tunisia, and it's male bars. You, as a woman, you can't really enter. And so
You definitely can't.
you
You
can't.
cannot.
And so the film, I tried to do very realistic surrounding with all the people making the figuration,
The extras.
the
The
extras,
extras, yeah.
okay, with the extras, that it's very realistic. So in this bar, as in the others, we try to bring the real person that are there. And so it's the real guys that go to this kind of bar. There had no alcohol. The bar was private for us. But I just asked them to look to her. I just said, okay, it's a woman. She enters in the bar and you look. And they looked the way they looked. And to be
I'm
honest,
still alive.
It's even more violent than the torture scene.
it was very, very hard for
was my
her
torture scene.
because it was the second scene she acted with us, and she had to go out and in again, and they were all the time saying, go out, go in, and there was also the producer, which is a woman, and me, and even me and her, we felt this eyes, alors que it was private for us. So that's it. It's like this. It's the reality. And she's searching her daughter, so she goes to places where she would never go.
I believe we have time just for one short question and one short answer. So.
Thank you so much for the movie. We were really touched with my friend. There are so many small hints that as a Tunisian we can understand, and it was really, really good to see such a very positive film with a lot of energy. A very quick question on, I was wondering, how do you foresee the main character now, 5 years after these events? I tweeted it yesterday, but I didn't get an answer, so...
Yes, I gave the answer. You were not watching it.
Okay, so a brief reply.
Sorry, the question is how it would be today.
How the character would be 5 years on.
I think it would be nearly the same. like today, the energy people are the youth are very disappointed with the revolution, and same time they are really active. So maybe Baya will have another answer also, but they are really disappointed. But same time, they are the hope, because there is so much energy in the youth, Tunisian youth, and for me, the film is about the process of destroying this energy, and this process is still there. It's still, you have a lot of difficulty to make it arrive. And maybe she could sing a little bit easier, but as I said, they would search for her, for smoke. A lot of things didn't change. It's what changed is this freedom of speech, but there is a lot of threat on it, and the freedom of speech is very important, because it's with it you can fight for the other freedoms. And people now talk, there is a civil society, and in Facebook there is a lot of manifestation, a lot of resistance, but it's really hard. It's a lot of fight, and it's a process which is not over, and she would have a lot of problems too, not exactly the same, but she would have, but probably there would be bigger community fighting for her. But at the moment, and all the last month in Tunisia, there was really the power of the police, which is really back very violently and very badly. We fight against terrorism, but so this means a lot of security. The problem is that we have 40 years of police state, so going back to security is not like security in Europe, even in Europe there is some issue.
Europe, it's not that,
But anyway, it is a point at the moment which is very hard. She would fight, and there is really a lot of spirit fightings, but it is not over.
Well, I think that one of the great things is that the success of the film, critically as well as financially, is evidence that there is reason for hope. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Leyla,
Thank you.
Baya, and Jalil, and Kayam.